Hi! Today we are talking about masturbation, so if you're a little bit conservative, you can learn from a professional sex educator to help you get rid of sexual shame. My name is Rafaela Galindo, I am a filmmaker and storyteller. Oops.
My name is Carlisle Jansen. I am the founder of Good for Her, which is a sexuality store in Toronto. And I also am now a sex therapist working with couples and individuals.
What are the effects of masturbation in our brains? What are the health benefits of it?
The effects of masturbation are feeling better self-esteem, and knowing your body, which also helps to inform sexual self-esteem when you're with a partner, more confidence. While you're masturbating yourself, there's all kinds of health benefits of, immune boosting and prevention of, heart disease and diabetes. I mean, some of those I think are a little bit far-fetched, but I do think that especially if we are enjoying it, like a lot of people still feel shame when they masturbate, or they think that there's something wrong with them. So I think that interferes with some of the health benefits. But when you feel like, this is my body, this is good, this feels good to me, and I have a right to do this, and I'm not harming anybody, and this is positive, that I think that it just kind of, brings you up a little bit and puts a little spring in your step, like, okay, I know what feels good, and I can take care of my own needs. I don't need to find somebody else who can do that. I can also do it myself.
Can stress impact on how much a person masturbates? Can that impact on masturbation addiction, for example?
So we all respond differently to stress. And for some, stress totally shuts down our libido and our desire to have sex with somebody else or with ourselves. And for others, it increases it. It depends a bit on how we like to relieve that stress, and whether we like to distract ourselves, or whether we want to connect with someone when we're stressed, right? It really depends on our response. So sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down.
Is there a limit? Like how many times a day is considered normal? When is too much?
This is a question I get a lot. My partner masturbates once a day. I think they're addicted. The sign of too much is when it gets in the way. When you're late for work because you have to masturbate before you go into work. You would rather stay at home and masturbate rather than go out with your friends. You would rather pleasure yourself rather than engage with sex with a partner. Now, once in a while, I think there's reasons for that. It's a little simpler. It's a little faster. It takes a lot less energy. So sometimes we prefer to masturbate than to have sex with a partner. But if you're avoiding sex with your partner, if you are taking away from that time, or even just hanging out with your partner, you're like, oh, I'm going to go and hang out in my room for 2 hours and read, but really you're masturbating. Mm-hmm. There's an indication that you're not being honest with yourself. You're not being honest with your partner. Something's not quite working maybe with your partner. And so that's an indication that maybe there's something to look at.
Mm-hmm. I see. So only if it gets in the way. So if you want to masturbate like 2, 3, 4 times a day, that's okay. That is not a problem.
Absolutely not. If it doesn't interfere with your work or your school or your relationships, and it's a relief. And again, if you feel good about it, right? I've had clients where it can be kind of a compulsion, and it's a way of avoiding feelings or a way of avoiding a relationship. Then that's not necessarily healthy.
Out of curiosity, how big is our clitoris?
Well, I don't have all those stats at my fingertips, but I have my little vulva with me. Hello. Now, this is a very large specimen of a vulva. Obviously, this is not what most people's vulvas look like. But a lot of people think that the clitoris is this little bud here, right? But that's the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, that this is the clitoris. It has a head and a shaft, and it has two clitoral roots that extend in the body, and it has vestibular bulbs. Some people would even argue that some of the parts inside the vagina, like the G-spot here on the top wall, are actually part of the clitoris or the clitoral erectile tissue. So it's, the reality is that all of the erectile tissue that's in a clitoris is homologous or the same as what's in a penis. So we have all of the same erectile tissue, just a lot of it's internal, and a lot of the areas are more compacted. So there's lots of pleasure to be had. And one of my favorite spots is the vestibular bulb. So between the inner and the outer labia is a really great place to stimulate some of the deeper parts of the clitoris, the hood. So it's a lot bigger than just that little nub that most of us reach for.
What can you share about female ejaculation? How common is it?
My best guess is about 15% of folks who have a vulva will ejaculate. Unfortunately, it's become the latest party trick. People think, how do I make my partner ejaculate? I want to be a good lover, or I want to see this wild, exciting thing. Or how do I become a better lover by ejaculating so I can impress my partner or new people and feel more sexy? Whether you ejaculate or not doesn't necessarily mean you have more pleasure or you're a better lover, or whether your partner does. But it can be pleasurable. There's no question. But I have to say, I've talked to a lot of people who said, I figured out how to ejaculate. How do I turn it off? Because now every time I have sex, there's a whole big mess to clean up. So you have to be careful what you wish for. But essentially, the ejaculate, and there's so many different studies that have tried to look at the G-spot and ejaculate. Is it real? Is it not real? Is it pee? What is it? But the ones that I have found the most useful is where they've actually used live people as opposed to dead people, because you can't arouse dead people, who know about their bodies, and looked at where fluids are coming from while they're having sex, usually with themselves, and what kind of fluid, and analyzing the fluid. So back to our vulva here. Here's the clitoris, here's the urethra where we pee out of, and here's the vagina. And the ejaculate comes out of the urethra, not the vagina. But it's not urine. It comes from a small gland that's about this far up the urethra, where just behind the G-spot. Okay, so it's on the front wall. So if somebody's lying on their back, doing that come here motion is the most successful way to help somebody to ejaculate. And it's not liters and liters, right? If you see copious quantities, sometimes it's because it's a big spray and it looks like a lot, but it's not a lot. Like when you spritz your plants, right? It looks like a lot. And sometimes it's because it's performance and people have learned how to actually ejaculate pee, right? While they're having sex in order to look good on screen and make lots of money. But it's generally about a quarter of a cup, and it comes from just inside the urethra. Sometimes at the point of orgasm, sometimes before orgasm, sometimes after orgasm. I know some people who don't orgasm, but they ejaculate. Often with G-spot stimulation, but some people can get there from clitoral stimulation or nipple stimulation.
Is ejaculation and squirting the same thing or two different things? Hold on. I never know how to pronounce that.
Squirting.
I see them as the same. That they're both they both come from just inside. There is some fluid that's released just at the opening here around the urethra that some people say is different, but it's a very small amount. So I consider them the same. Mm-hmm. And, I like to explain that, Mother Nature usually has reasons for things. So why would Mother Nature have given those of us with vulvas an ability to ejaculate? Well, if you know anybody who's ever had a urinary tract infection, what you're told is to make sure that you pee after you have sex, right? Because the bacteria travel very quickly up the urethra and it's a very short passageway. So the theory is that Mother Nature gave us this ability to ejaculate, to flush out the bacteria so we don't get a urinary tract infection. Because, of course, antibiotics are very new in our evolutionary life, right? So we evolved millions of years ago when we didn't have them. Now, not all of us ejaculate. So what are the rest of us doing? Well, when we're having sex, we're holding it in because you don't want to pee on your partner, right? You hold it in. Where is it going to go? It goes up into the bladder. And most people, when they ejaculate, if you have sex for a while, they might ejaculate a few times. So you might injaculate, right, several times. So it'll go up into the bladder. And then when you're finished having sex, you say, excuse me, I need to get up and go pee. And what you pee out afterwards is usually very clear. And one study looked at the chemical composition is mostly made up of ejaculate.
Now, how different is a clitoral orgasm compared to a G-spot orgasm?
There's different nerve endings. So there's nerve endings here in the clitoris. And then there's nerve endings. There's two other different ones inside the vagina. And then there's the vagus nerve, which is a fourth one. So it depends a bit on which nerves you're stimulating as to what it's going to feel like. And then also for people with vulvas, what feels good to one doesn't always feel good to another, right? So I even know some people who don't like their clitoris stimulated. Go figure. So kind of like nipples, where some people really love it and some people it's really no different than the elbow. The same thing with lots of erogenous zones, in particular for vulvas and vaginas. So it's worthwhile exploring different erogenous zones and seeing what feels good. Some people find that stimulation internally, for example, the G-spot or deeper, feels more internal and more intense and more emotional, whereas from clitoral stimulation is more like pushing out and more explosive, but kind of outwardly. I mean, everyone's going to describe it a little differently. There's also orgasms from anal stimulation. And there's also people who have lost all of their sensation in their vulvas and vaginas. Dr. Komisaruk has done a lot of studies and where women were told that they were never going to be able to orgasm again. And in stimulating the vagus nerve, they actually were able to orgasm. I mean, some people can orgasm from kissing or from giving oral pleasure. So, you know, what nerves are involved then, right? A lot of it is up here too. This is a huge part of what helps us to orgasm is our headspace and what turns us on.
Yeah, I guess the mind and the body got to be in sync.
For sure. makes a really big difference.
What can you say about vaginal contractions?
So vaginal contractions are what happens when we have an orgasm, right? All of those muscles. So there's a whole layer of muscles along the pelvic floor, and they contract when an orgasm happens. And the clitoris is sandwiched between those muscles. So those contractions, sometimes you'll feel them when you have an orgasm. Sometimes a partner will feel them when you have an orgasm. And sometimes neither of you feel them, whether it's fingers or a penis inside. Sometimes like, I don't feel anything, but that doesn't mean you didn't have an orgasm. It just means that maybe you don't have really strong contractions. But it's the similar muscles to when you do your Kegel exercises, right? To strengthen your pelvic floor. Those are the muscles that contract, and they feel pleasurable because they stimulate the clitoris. And they are sometimes a bit helpful in the ejaculate coming out if you are ejaculating.
Mm-hmm. Well, education is key.
And the more we know, the more empowered we can be to have the kind of sex life that brings us pleasure. And sex is a skill. So if something's not quite working for you, it doesn't mean that the relationship is doomed. It doesn't mean that you're not attracted to your partner's not attracted to you. It means that you need to learn some new skills. And that's the beauty of sex, is that it's a lifelong journey.